Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here, in which case you can join the family by clicking the red subscribe button below. I would love to have you in the SoCraftastic family. That would make me super happy, and if you want to be notified every single time I post, you can click that bell icon. Today's video is DIY crayons with an emphasis on this rainbow layer one and a scented one. This heart smells like a cupcake. Insert Homer Simpson drooling right here. Donut. Also, I want to remind you guys of my most recent video, mini notebooks. There's a unicorn, watercolor, and shaped strawberry. Also started vlogging again, so if you haven't seen my most recent vlog, I will link that below. It is of my next project that's coming up in a couple days. Aha. If at any point you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up to let me know. The goal, as always, is 10,000, so let's try to reach that to make me smile. No, seriously, I will smile so much if we get to that. Anyway, I'll still smile if you watch. Let's get into the video, or tutorial, I mean. Yeah, this is all the video. Let's go. I talk a lot. Okay, you'll find that out. Go ahead and begin by gathering crayons in every color of the rainbow, or whatever colors you want. Then peel the wrapper off each one at a time. Or if you want to learn an easier way to do this, I like to personally fill up a little container full of water. Warm water works best, and then I just dunk all the crayons in and let them soak for a while. The longer you let them soak, the easier the paper will be to peel off. And I know some of you might be thinking that I'm a little bit extra for doing this and I could just peel the paper easily off with my fingers, but depending on the brand of crayon you use, the glue, and I'm saying crayon a lot of times, wow. So yeah, maybe you guys should count how many times I say it in this video, and I will pin the first person who gets it correct in the comment section below. What I was saying though is that certain brands are easier to peel than others, and I find that Crayola crayons specifically are a little bit difficult to peel nowadays. Maybe years ago they were easier, but bottom line, the water really helps, especially if you have longer nails like me and you don't want to get a bunch of wax under them or break them or anything like that. Another really easy way to peel crayons, but it's a bit dangerous, is to use an X-Acto knife and just make a slit down the entire length of the wrapper. I didn't get footage of that in this video, but I have done that in a lot of my past ones. Wow, I just sat and talked about peeling wrappers for a very long time. I wanted to be extra thorough and give you all the information that I know. Hopefully it helps some of you. And I just learned that there's a different formula of Crayola crayon. It's a washable kind. I thought they were all washable, but this one specifically gets really gooey if you soak it in water, so I just wanted to point that out. I ended up just putting the washable ones aside and using all the rest. That did not come off on my fingers. And here you see a big pile of wrappers. I'm letting these dry out, and then I'm actually saving them because I'm a crafter and I like to save random things that people would normally throw out. Seriously though, I'm gonna save them for a decoupage project, or maybe like making DIY paper. I think that might be cool. Using paper to make paper. Now it's time to melt the crayon wax, and you can do this any way that you choose. There's so many different options. I was about to say choptions. I wanted to try something new that I have never tried before on my channel. I thought I'd seen people do this in the past. Maybe I was wrong, or maybe they were using a glass instead of a Dixie cup to melt the crayon wax in. This did not work for me. It's a Scentsy candle warmer, if you guys are not familiar with what I'm using here. I let that heat up while I broke the crayons into little tiny pieces, and I put each color in a separate Dixie cup. Once I finished separating all the different colors, and you can see that I put a light piece in the purple and the blue and the green, the wax on the normal blue, green, and purple or violet are very dark, so I want to lighten it up a bit. Anyway, after the warmer had warmed up, I went ahead and put the Dixie cup on there, and I tried to fit two. As you can see, this was on for a very long time, and really I'm just impatient. It was about 10 minutes of the cup being on there, and it barely even started melting. So I got a little annoyed here, not gonna lie, and I whipped out a blow dryer, which is another way that you can melt crayon wax. I'm using a blow dryer because I don't own a heat gun, and I use the candle warmer because I don't have a hot plate. I wanted to try and film everything in my filming room instead of like moving out to the kitchen where the lighting's worse, but I ended up having to move out there anyway. But before I did manage to melt some of the wax with the blow dryer on the hot setting and the low blow, because you don't want to blow the cups all over and the wax all over. It would just be a super huge mess if you left the blower on high. As you can see, I melted the yellow wax first and I poured a layer of that into the bottom of the silicone mold. I have a heart mold. You may recognize this from an old heart-shaped crayon video that I posted a long time ago. I was thinking to myself, oh my gosh, how do I do something that brings back the original SoCraftastic vibes? I thought rainbow layer crayon, and yeah, it took so long to do, and at this point I was already regretting my decision. I couldn't turn back and I had to finish what I started and share it with you guys. So yeah, just letting you know, this isn't a very practical project because it takes so long to make just one, but if you really want a rainbow layer crayon, then this video is for you. Crayon wax sets up very quickly and starts to harden, so while I was melting the orange, I went back on the yellow with the blow dryer and just heated up that layer a little bit to make it glisten. You don't want it to melt completely, and then pour the melted orange on top. And it's so hard to do this, like I said, because it hardens again really quickly, but just keep working with it and blow it around and try not to melt the layer underneath. Alright, now I was fed up after 2 colors in, and I moved out to the kitchen. So here I'm doing the double boiler method, which is a brilliant way to melt crayon wax. Seriously, it's one of the best ways. Another great way is the microwave, which I do later. But anyway, I put the 4 remaining Dixie cups into a glass Pyrex bowl, and then I just have them heating there for, I don't know how long it took, probably 20 minutes, but it was for all of them to melt instead of one at a time, so I was happy. And then just keep going and adding 1 layer at a time, and in between I still kept the blow dryer and just made it a little bit warmed up so the layers would form a nice bond. So here I am pouring in the red, letting that sit just for a few seconds, and then pouring in purple, and blue, and oh wait, I fixed that one a little bit with a toothpick, and then the green, and it is finished. And you do want to let it sit at this point for, I don't know, at least an hour, and make sure that it's completely hardened and set up before you pop it out. And now you have a rainbow layer crayon that took entirely too long to make, but it looks really cool, and it can create a stripe of rainbow on the page, which is awesome. Next up, I'm going to show you a really easy way to do this for those of you who don't have a lot of time or patience. To be honest, people like me. All you have to do for this one is get really tiny pieces of different colors of crayons, and you can add scent so your crayon smells delicious. Don't eat it though. For this, I'm using candle scent. You could also use essential oils. And for this one, I popped in the microwave for 30 seconds at a time until the wax was nice and melty. Then I let it sit in there because you don't want to move it around and shake things up. So let it sit in there until it's basically hardened and it's safe enough to move it to another level area until it completely cools. Then go ahead and pop that out and you have a rainbow splatter crayon. By the way, for those of you who love crayon crafts and you want to see some of the ones I've done in the past, or all of the ones that I've done in the past, check out this crayon playlist. I will link it in the description box below. The last crayon that I made in this video is with a mini chocolate bar mold. I've had this chocolate bar maker for a long time. I initially got it for the molds, so I'm finally using it, but I thought I'd be using it for a candy project first instead of something to color with. For this one, I'm using scissors to cut pieces of crayon that are going to fit into the mold perfectly, almost perfectly. So you just want them all to be the exact same size or as close as possible so they fit snug. And I line them up pink, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and I'm using more of a pastel-y rainbow for this one because honestly that's my favorite kind of rainbow. The regular rainbow is pretty, but this one is beautiful in my opinion. And then I double layered that, so I put another of each color on top like so, and I ended up microwaving it. It took a lot longer to microwave though. I put it for a minute at a time and I probably did like 5 minutes total. You could also heat up the oven and do it that way. If you do try it out, share a photo with me on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook by using hashtag SoCraftastic. I'll link all of my socials in the description box below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Zoom! I'm zooming in on your face. Leo! Leo is thoroughly unamused. Donut. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, give it a thumbs up to let me know. I've always been pretty obsessed with crayons here on this channel. If you haven't seen these awesome videos here, click one of them or both at some point and watch them. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you very soon. Goodbye! Internet screen computer hugs.